Hi, I'm Nick from MYO Drinks, and today I'm going to show you how to set up a sugar wash. Now, a sugar wash is a fundamental part of your distillation process. Setting up a good sugar wash is going to ensure that you have a great spirit at the end of it. So today we've got our 10 litre fermenter here, we've got some dextrose sugar, we've got an air still fermentation kit pack, and some water. And coming up, I'm going to show you how to combine all these ingredients to make a great sugar wash. So the first thing is dextrose sugar, and your Air Still Essentials kit comes with 2.4 kgs of dextrose. Another key ingredient that you need for a sugar wash is yeast. So your yeast comes in this small sachet here, and to ensure that your yeasts ferment happily, you'll add nutrient, and you also have a liquid sachet carbon, and this helps to keep down a lot of odours during fermentation and ensure you get a great ferment. And the last thing you'll need is turbo clear. So once fermentation is finished, you'll use these finings to drop down all the sediment that sits within the fermenter to the base, so you end up with a nice, clear, clean wash that's ready for distillation. So the first thing we need to do is set up our fermenter. Now the fermenter comes with a small tap, and you'll need to attach that into the hole at the base of the fermenter here. I'm just undoing the nut on the back of the tap, and you'll feed the tap through from the front, making sure that one of the rubber washers is on the outside and the other rubber washer goes inside, and then the nut goes on behind it. Now that your tap's securely fastened, you need to sanitize the inside of your fermenter. Now, sanitization is a key part, and it ensures that you get a great fermentation, and it just ensures that there's no bacteria or any bugs that are actually sitting in your fermenter that could disrupt your fermentation. So in here I just have some handcraft supplies, no rinse sanitizer, and you can go ahead and just give it a liberal spray inside your fermenter. And that step's done. So now we need to add 7.5 litres of water at 30 degrees into your fermenter. Now I'm already starting off with 4 litres and added another 3.5. So now we've got our water in, the next thing we need to add is our dextrose. So we're going to go ahead and just add that dextrose. So give it a stir as you're adding the sugar as well, because what you're trying to do here is you're trying to dissolve that sugar into your warm water. So as we talked about before, the sugar is the food source for our yeast, and it's a fundamental part of setting up a wash or any fermentation, because the sugar in this case is the food source for our yeast to ferment. Okay, now once all of your sugar is now dissolved within your water, you can go ahead and add your yeast, your nutrient, and your carbon sachet. So the first thing I'm going to add here is our pure turbo yeast. You can just go ahead and sprinkle that on top. The next sachet I'm going to add is the nutrient. And the last sachet to add is the carbon. So you may feel a few lumps within the carbon sachet. You just want to massage it a bit until it all becomes a liquid form. Alright, and the last thing you need to do is just give your wash a good stir. Now your wash is all set up and ready for fermenting. So now that you've waited 7 days for your fermentation to finish, you need to check that it is fully fermented, and to do that, that's where our hydrometer comes in. So your hydrometer is going to give you a gravity reading, and you want your reading to be up at 0.990. That's right up by the top of the hydrometer here. And that's going to tell us that the yeast have finished consuming all of the sugars and our fermentation is completely finished. So to do that, you simply place the hydrometer into your wash and then look across it and check your gravity reading. This one here is fully fermented, which means it's ready for clearing. So to clear a wash, you add thinnings, and the first one we add is part A. Now we want to give that a vigorous stir, and that's going to do two things. It's going to add the part A into the wash, and secondly it's going to degas the wash. So you'll notice during the wash, when it's fermenting, there'll be some gases released, and that's all the bubbling. So there's still gases that are retained within the wash, and this degassing stirring helps release any entrapped gases remaining in the wash. You're now going to leave your wash to sit for 1 hour, and then we're going to add part B. So we've now waited an hour, and we're going to add in part B. But instead of a vigorous stir this time, we're just going to do a gentle stir around the top. And this is because we don't want to disturb the clearing process that's already begun. So a stir like that is all that's needed. Now we're going to leave our fermenter and let it sit for 24 hours. And once 24 hours has passed, your wash will be clear. So now our wash has been sitting for 24 hours, and as you can see, it's completely cleared. So when you look inside, you'll notice all of the sediment that was in the wash is now settled at the base, and your wash looks crystal clear, which means it's now ready for distilling. And that's another great batch from scratch.